And if we all measured all of mankind by its failure, there would be no testimony because there's no test. If we just abandon every King David that failed, if we abandon every Moses that is one of the great prophets of the Old Testament that killed somebody, if we measured Abraham by his failure, right, of denying his own wife, not to get too super scriptural here, but I mean, if we measured everybody we knew by the moment of their greatest failure, the world would be a disaster. So I challenge people not to do that to themselves, because there's so much greatness in you, but the enemy wants to create powerlessness in your presence and weakness in your testimony. So you're like, I can't, or who would listen to me? I'm bleh, right? And I think Nelson Mandela gets credit for the quote that it's not your darkness that you're most afraid of, it is your light that you're most afraid of. And that through your success, your light gives permission to those around you to succeed. Playing small does not stir the world. Now, if you study that quote, that's not Nelson Mandela, but he did use it in a speech. It was actually a wonderful woman who wrote a pretty incredible book, and not that it matters who the credit's for. It's a powerful statement because a lot of us think we play small. By playing small, I become relatable. And frankly, I say play big, but play humble. Play grounded, play organic, play holistic, these new words. Stay real. But play big, because you can lift, right? As compared to feeling like you got to reduce for people to feel comfortable, right? And so I believe in connectivity, but I also believe in playing big. I believe in big dreams. I believe in having a vision for your life. I believe we have a responsibility to do great things. And, 25, 30 years ago, I was just a punk teenage kid with a dream of maybe being a professional athlete, thinking that would be my answer. Got in a car accident a few years after being a pro. That was over. What am I going to do now? And I got construction, and I got a night job being a janitor. It's hard to imagine that that's the guy today that has that resume. And I don't say it, I didn't say it, he said it, but I don't claim that because I want to brag. I just want to say, if I can come from driving a $500 beat-up car, cleaning toilets at night, to running a multi-million-dollar company around the world, then why can't you? I'm an ADD dyslexic. I didn't go to college. I barely got through high school. I was in a special program for kids that they didn't know what I had back then. It was just a learning disability. Now they diagnose it as, ADD or dyslexia or varieties of different types of things. And so my brother was super smart, 4.0, right? He was out in front of me, and here comes number 2. Oh, you're Greg's brother. Oh, sit up front. I'm in the back. Because I'm so out of control, I just couldn't pay attention for 30 seconds. Now they just call it being a boy. And it's just like on fire. But nonetheless, I say all that because I really want to help you win. And I don't know most of you, but I would like to get to know you. Years ago, a guy took me under his wing. As random as it was, God's got a plan. I didn't even know God back then. He knew me, but I know him. And I met this dude at a gas station in Issaquah, Washington, going night skiing at Valpatol. And he says, I'll help you. Long story. I got vetted and went through an interview process. And it took me, a month or so to convince him to take me under his wing. But here's what he was offering. He said, Brad, I'll tell you what. After a series of getting to know each other, he says, I will teach you how to make $250,000 a year for the rest of your life. You got to be willing to have a 2 to 5 year mindset, 10 to 15 hours a week of doing whatever it takes, as long as it doesn't violate man's laws or God's laws. Can you embrace that? Now, that's a very interesting question. Now, I'm talking 25 years ago, so $250,000 would be like, $750,000 now. It's a big number back then. Today, it's like a good number, but not like, not shock and awe, right? It's just like, yeah, that'd be cool. But now it would be at least a half, if not $750,000, just considering inflation. And so my answer was, embarrassingly, it would depend. And he's like, what? Right? I said, well, it would depend. He's like, depend on what? And I said, well, and I remember stuttering, like, I have to like it, right? I mean, I mentor a lot of people, and one of the common questions or one of the common statements I get from people is, I'm trying to find something I'm passionate about, right? That's why I recently did a podcast on the 5 myths of motivation. And one of the myths of motivation is that I need to find my passion. And I just believe that's bass backwards. I believe your passion is a byproduct of action. That getting in motion, the passion is revealed to you, or it's not, right? But you got to get in the throes of things before you're going to have this mental explosion. When you meet your people, you find your purpose. That's another way of saying it, is that when I meet my tribe, I find my calling, right? When I started working in orphanages, I got off the plane in Manila, Philippines, and I went there to play golf, do a little business, and just kind of like chill out in, Hawaii style. And in the 20-minute taxi ride from the airport to my hotel, I realized there's no way on God's green earth that's ever happened. Not because it wasn't available, but because there was such a massive responsibility that was just overwhelming me with these number of street kids.